Texas has a unique energy-only market, without getting into all the details of that. And I think that you have to take a step back and examine whether that market design is adequate to foster the investment needed to keep up with load and population growth. Because that's what will have to happen for the economy to continue to flourish here.
Things that you're seeing that's contributing to this change in our power grid?
Well, Texas is not unique in its challenges on its power grid. As you all know, I was in California, and it's had several close calls in the last couple of years, and in 2000 actually had some blackouts. New England has its issues because of gas pipeline infrastructure limitations. So Texas is not unusual, but let's kind of peel it back and look at Texas by itself, because it is its own grid. The fact is there's been population growth and load growth, and the investment has not followed that. And then you got to peel it back as why hasn't that happened?
Yeah.
Texas has a unique energy-only market, without getting into all the details of that. And I think that you have to take a step back and examine whether that market design is adequate to foster the investment needed to keep up with load and population growth. Because that's what will have to happen for the economy to continue to flourish here.
So from your perspective, what might be one initiative that needs to be started or picked back up?
Well, unfortunately, some of them are third rails, and I don't want to get into, well, there are third rails here in Texas as an example. It's an energy-only market, and let me just compare and contrast for a moment. In California, there's a resource adequacy requirement that gives that power plants then get capacity payments in addition to energy payments. The same thing happens in the upper Midwest in MISO, which is the Mid-Continent ISO, as well as in PJM and some of the others. They have a way of compensating capacity. Texas doesn't have that capacity compensation. The other element of it, I'm not advocating for, it's just a fact, Texas is not connected outside of Texas.
Yeah.
So when California, as an example, gets into short conditions, it can get power from the Pacific Northwest or Canada or Mexico or throughout the West, whereas Texas doesn't. So it's more incumbent upon Texas to make sure the investment follows the load and economic needs here in California.